Hey, yo, we back. And we got a new trailer here for Faye. So let's check it out. This one should be the bunny trailer. Alright, so what do we got here? The silhouettes, I couldn't tell which one the one on the left was, but one of them definitely looked like Dorothea, though. Certainly had Dorothea's hat on. Oh, is that Thor? Wait, oh wow, we don't really get Thor copies. Now, if only she could do something in the actual story for once. So we have here a Lance Flyer Thor. Funny they give us Thor after they just gave us the counter to turn off enemy bonuses. Remember Mythic Tiki being able to do that? So that's why we're finally allowed to get Thor again, because now they have a counter to her. So stats are 45 HP, 65 attack, 16 speed. Suffering drops to defense and res from somewhere. I'm not going to do any mental gymnastics to figure that out right now, but 47 red and 38 red for defense and res. Okay, looks like a new ace skill there. Okay, so Spring Thorn, 16 might, 1 range, -1 special trigger for foes in 3 rows of 3 columns centered on unit. Inflicts all stats -5. Neutralize any special bonus acceleration effects they get. Also, foes suffer +10 damage, and foe can't make a follow-up. There you go. Bam. Just give us exposure on that Crux debuff, and it's so much better. Okay, then also grants all stats of 10 to unit. Unit deals +25 damage. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 15. Reduce damage from foes' special by 15. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up. And grants special cooldown count -2 before unit's first attack. Okay, it's pretty basic. Like, this is what you come to expect from weapons nowadays, but the Crux debuff will certainly take that. Alright, then we got Arc Rival, which is great. Alright, then we have this new ace skill here, Divine Spectre. So, enables Canto Distant +1 with a max of 4. If unit initiates combat, or if there is an ally in 3 rows of 3 columns centered on unit, then you get attack and defense up 10 to unit. Unit deals +X times 4 damage, and reduce damage from foes' first attack by X times 3. And their first attack and brave attack, and then also X is the number of allies in 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit with a max of 3. So essentially, you could be getting +12 true damage and +9 DR. Okay, pretty solid. Alright, then we have Heavenly Soar once again, and then we have a new C skill here, World Destroyer. So, neutralize effective against flying, and also distant counter. So, again, we're seeing... Wait, did we ever see C skill distant counter? I think Mythic Tiki had it in her B skill, and now we're just getting it on the C skill, so we're just getting it everywhere. Allies in 2 spaces of unit can move to a space within 2 spaces of unit. For unit and allies in 3 rows of 3 columns centered on unit, grants all stats of 5. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 7. And the next attack deals damage equal to 40% of foes' attack damage prior to reduction. So she's also giving that drive reflect ability. And then also, if defense is better than foes' defense +5, disable unit or ally skills and foe skills that change attack priority. So then we also get drive hardy bearing too, which is pretty good. There's only one other unit that does that, which is the Winter Alfred. And Thor is doing it as well, but then she's giving a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And then unit deals +7 damage and grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. I'm kind of disappointed she doesn't turn off enemy bonuses like the the other duo Thor. But we do have the counter to that now with Mythic Tiki, so... It wouldn't have even been that big of a deal to give it to her, I don't think. Okay, her unmitigated defense and res, 49 defense and then 40 res. Alright, sure. And then we're just going to show Lif in action, I guess. Or, no, we're not going to show... Yeah, thank you so much for streamlining the trailer by not wasting our time just to show the drive buffs. So there's Dorothea, who was very obviously one of the silhouettes. Kind of weird artwork. The face is throwing me off a little. It looked fine over here. This one looked great. But then the neutral art, the face looks a little messed up for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a weird perspective or something. But Dorothea is going to be a green tome flyer. Okay. All right, so we got here 43 HP, 6. Well, she's gaining bonuses to attack and res. So otherwise, 66 attack, 30 speed, 20 defense, 54 res. Spring hair egg. Oh wait, she has an inheritable weapon. Wait a second, is she a demote? This is the second unit on the banner, and we're already looking at a demote. That's interesting. So, Spring Hair Egg Plus, 12 Might, 2 range. At the start of player phase or enemy phase, grants attack and res up 6. Preempt Pulse and neutralize foes' bonuses during combat to unit and allies in 2 spaces. Grants all stats of 5. Unit deals plus 20 damage. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 10. Yeah, so Inheritable Green Tome, it's pretty okay there. Not too shabby for an Inheritable. And we got Glacies, Attack and Res Far Resound, and Shadow Shift 3. Oh, Shadow Shift 3 is interesting. Now, it'd be interesting more so on a banner demote than a seasonal demote. But I guess it's fine. I still don't understand what the point is of gatekeeping, like, even prerequisite skills like that. Like Shadow Shift 3, we've never seen that ever until this point. We've seen level 4 all the time, but we've never seen level 3. So, what is even the point of hiding stuff like that? A rearmed seasonal hero, what the hell? Okay, so they're going to start doing this now? They're going to start putting rearmed heroes on seasonal banners? Really? Well, okay, I guess this was the other silhouette that was with Dorothea. So we got here Colorless Dagger Infantry Sothe. Rearmed Sothe. I swear to God, man, if his weapon is like crazy and it's a seasonal arcane weapon, is this just an excuse for them to have stronger arcane weapons, is make them seasonal units? So, Arcane Slicer, 14 Might, 2 range, -1 special trigger. Phantom Speed Light. At the start of player phase or enemy phase, grants attack and speed of 6, Pulse Follow, and Dodge to unit and allies in 2 spaces. Okay, Pulse Follow is new. Grants all stats of 15 to unit. Unit deals plus 25 damage. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 15. And reduce percentage of foes' non-special DR by half. And then Pulse Follow grants special cooldown count -2 to unit before unit's first follow-up. Okay, it's not any better than any of the recent arcane weapons. True Bane. Oh boy. Because Bane, the original Bane was so good, we had to get True Bane, right? 5 hit special. When special triggers, boost damage by the greater of foe's speed or defense. For a unit's first attack during combat, if damage dealt prior to damage reduction calculation is less than foe's HP -1, sets damage before damage reduction as foe's HP -1. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 40%. Disable skills of all foes, excluding the foe in combat, and neutralize effects that inflict guard on unit. And also, if decreasing speed difference necessary to make a follow-up by 10 would allow unit to trigger a follow-up. Then you get Potent 100. At the start of turn, grants attack and speed Great Talent +2 to unit and allies in 3 rows of 3 columns. After combat, if unit special triggered, grants attack and speed Great Talent +4 to unit and allies in 3 rows of 3 columns centered on unit. And the max Great Talent is +20 for Sothe, and then +10 for the allies. This doesn't sound much better than the original Bane. The portion where you're getting bonus damage. So boost damage by the greater of foe's speed or defense. And then this portion here, if your damage reduction calculation is less than foe's HP -1, they didn't really buff that. So the problem with this originally was that damage reduction would mitigate basically all of this. And it didn't really have a way against that. But at least now you're getting some extra true damage, right? And then now you get Potent 100. Now you get Great Talent. So all of the other additions they tossed in here are better. But the original Bane effect is not very good. Alright, then we have Attack and Speed Waylay. And then we have Disarm Rumor. Okay, a new Disarm skill. At start of turn and after unit acts, if Kanto triggers after Kanto, inflicts speed and defense -7 and discord on the closest foes and any foe in 2 spaces of those foes. And then inflicts speed and defense -4 on the foe. Unit deals +15 damage and reduce damage from foe's first attack by 7, including their brave attack. And while attacking in 8th raids, if unit ends movement on a space with a bolt trap or a heavy trap, cancels the trap. And if unit ends movement on a space with a hex trap, reduce the trap's condition by 10 HP. Completely irrelevant, dude. They never want to upgrade the hex trap, so it doesn't even matter. It's just stuck at 65 HP, which is very easy to beat with blessings and summoner support. And all of those sacred seals that give like +6 HP now and double stats. So that, like, the hex trap is a non-issue. I wish they would raise the HP on the hex trap at least so that these disarm skills actually matter. But for what it's worth, not really. But, I mean, this is still the best disarm skill at the moment with the amount of true damage you're getting here. That's a lot. +15. All right, then he also has Lookout Smog. I'm not really sure why we needed a seasonal arcane. After looking at all the stuff that he does, nothing about this really stands out to me. All right, he's fighting Atun Ryoma there, and he actually beats him. Oh, and his stats too, by the way. But his stats are getting insanely buffed here. So we got 42 HP, 75 attack, 65 speed, 34 defense, 35 res. His weapon gives attack and speed of 6, right? So what is that? 69 attack and then 59 speed? Ain't no way bro has 59 speed. What the hell? Oh, that's because of great talent. Yeah, he's probably got a bunch of stacks of great talent there. Okay, and we have a duo here. Well, Harmonic hero. So it looks like Micaiah and Eirika? Why is Eirika on this? This is like a grab bag banner where there's just a bunch of random characters. We started off with Thor. We had Sothe. We had, who was it in the middle? Dorothea from Three Houses. Then we have Eirika and Micaiah. Like, the only 2 characters that are from the same title is Micaiah and Sothe from Radiant Dawn. And then everyone else is just like a grab bag unit. Not that I have a problem with that, because I actually do like when they do that more than when they stick to one game. Because at least this way we're getting some love for various different games all at once. So Eirika's going to be the main. She's going to be a Red Tome Cavalry type. Kind of a weird choice. Eirika and Micaiah. I don't really see what they have in common. So we got here 40 HP, 68 attack, 56 speed, 30 defense, and 26 res. All right. Spring Dawning, 14 might, 2 range, -1 special trigger. At start of player phase or enemy phase, grants empathy to unit and allies in 2 spaces for 1 turn. After start of turn, effects trigger on player phase, and after start of turn, effects trigger on the enemy phase. Except in SD, for unit and allies in 2 spaces, convert stat penalties into stat bonuses, and neutralize 2 penalty effects. Yeah, we don't care about that. Only 2? Unless it's all of them, or at least like 5 of them, I don't care. Call me back when King Freyr gets his refine. Alright, then also grants all stats of 15 a unit, reduce damage from foes' attacks by 15, and deals damage equal to a unit's max special cooldown count value times 12 when special triggers during combat. Times 12 is a lot, wow. She does have -1 though, so you can't get like a 5-hit special. I mean, she has Logic, which is a 5-hit special, but what I mean is, like, you can't do like 5 times 12 and get +60. At best, you would get 4 times 12, which is 48, which is still a lot of true damage there. And then she has a style, too. She has Spring Dawning style. Let me guess. She attacks from 3 spaces away. Alright, so Logic, attack speed Aria, Stellar Brace. Enables Kanto distant with a max of 3 and a min of 1. At start of turn and after unit acts, if Kanto triggers, then after Kanto, inflicts speed and res -7. Panic, and a penalty that neutralizes non-special miracle effects on the closest foe and foes in 2 spaces. Inflicts attack speed and res -5 on the foe. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 7. And neutralize effects that guarantee foes' follow-ups. And prevent units' follow-ups. And also, when special triggers, deals damage equal to X% of the greater of foes' speed or res. X is 20 plus the unit's max special cooldown count value times 10. X% of greater of foes' speed or res. Huh. X is 20 plus... Okay, so she has Logic, which is a 4-hit special. So 20 plus 4 times 10. So 4 times 10 is what? 40? Plus 20 is 60. 60% of her speed or res. That sure is a lot of hoops they want us to go through to figure that out, huh? Alright, then if unit's attack can trigger unit special, grant special cooldown count -Y to unit before unit's first attack, and special cooldown count -Z to unit before unit's first follow-up attack. Y is the number of bonus effects active on unit, excluding stat bonuses, and the max equals unit special count value at the start of combat. Z is the number of bonus effects active on unit, excluding stat bonuses, minus unit's max or unit special cooldown count value at the start of combat, with a min of 0. A whole lot of words just to say she's... So, the number of bonuses she's going to have is going to be like... I don't know. How many bonuses do you want right now? That's the meta we're in. How many bonuses do you want? The answer is yes. And her max special cooldown count value is going to be 4. Or no, it's at the start of combat. Not just like in general max special cooldown count. We're spending way too much time breaking down how these work. Let's just get to the rest of the video. And then attack and speed liberate finally. New skill. I'm surprised that wasn't one of the first ones they did. Alright, so there's the attack animation. Bunch of Easter eggs and confetti. We looked at her stats already, right? But we don't know what they are unmitigated. Or unbonused, basically. Yeah, let me see that 3 range on this style. Unit can attack foes 3 spaces away. How did I know? Call me Nostradamus, because I called that. Unit deals plus 10 damage and neutralize foes' DR effects from non-special skills when units special triggers during combat. Unit can move through spaces within 3 spaces of foe that has triggered the Bulwark effect. Or no, cannot move through spaces with Bulwark. And then unit suffers a counterattack if any of the following conditions are met. Foe is armored with a range of 2, or foe can counterattack regardless of range. After combat, movement effects do not occur. Skill effect range is treated as 2. This style can only be used once per turn. So basically the same as the Harmonic Celica style. Except this is a cavalry tome unit. So she reaches a little bit farther than Celica. Actually, no, they have the same reach, because Celica has +1 movement on her C skill. They gave her a Tempest skill. So Celica and Eirika both have the same reach with this style. Eirika doesn't have Brave attacking, though. That's interesting. She doesn't have Potent either. Huh. How about that? Alright, well, her unmitigated speed, or unbonus speed is 49 there. Alright, sure. And then she has a Harmonic button, which you won't be able to see this until you've used the range style already. So, grants Resonant Blades to unit and allies from the same titles, inflicts all stats -7, sabotage, and share spoils on the closest foes and any foes in 2 spaces of them. Wow. Share spoils is pretty good to get on a Harmonic button, but it's like so backwards, because you got to use the 3 range style first, and then you can use share spoils afterwards. And, I mean, you would want Eirika to take advantage of share spoils herself, wouldn't you? Like, have her attack with the style, get share spoils to give her a bonus action, and then let her attack again. But that's not going to be how it works. You got to do the style first and then share spoils. So I guess her allies will be able to take advantage of that instead of her. Okay. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about this banner in the comments down below. I don't understand why we needed a rearmed seasonal unit. Yeah, kind of weird, but okay. So, yeah, Eirika looks pretty good. Thor seems pretty good. The other two I'm not particularly impressed by, but Dorothea is a demote, so why would I have been impressed in the first place? Is there anything else we need to see here? All right, now let's head over to Twitter. Let's take a look at the inheritances for these new passives here. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and pull this up. All right, let's also make this a little bigger here. All right, so attack speed liberate is for cavalry only, but we already knew. Disarm rumor is for dagger only, regardless of movement type, which is perfectly fine. And then divine specter is for flying and cavalry, and for sword, lance, axes only. Right? Yeah, dragons and beasts not included. RIP. And then dagger and, like, bows not included either. Sometimes they get a little wonky with these, and they include, like, dagger and bow, and just make it, like, all physical damage units. But, nah, it's just sword, lances, axes, pretty much. So, yeah, that's basically everything for this one. Kind of an awkward trailer, but it is what it is. I would say this is probably a skip, to be honest. Like, Eirika is pretty good, but we already have multiple units in the game that already have 3-range style. And I think Celica's probably better overall. She does have Miracle, she's got Brave attacking, and she's just probably going to be a better damage dealer overall than this Micaiah, to tell you the truth. What would have been good is if they gave this unit, like, effective against armor and cavalry. Because, like, that's something typical that Micaiah units do, but this is Eirika. This is not Micaiah. So she doesn't borrow the effective type damage, unfortunately. So, yeah, this is your boy Tacho signing out. And I will catch y'all again tomorrow for the Data Mines.